Hello. In this video session, we are going to write a program to delete a line from a file. The file name and the line to be deleted are to be taken from user. Overall logic of this program would go like this, that we would create a new file and we would transfer the lines of original file line by line, and we would skip the line that is to be deleted. So all the lines those are there in the original file would get transferred except the line that is to be deleted. Then we are going to delete the original file and we are going to rename the new file to have a name same as the original file. So this is the overall logic of the program. Let us start with declaring few variables those would be required in this program. So one of the variables that would be required is to hold the name of the file that is input by the user. So let us say this is the variable, and then we would require few you know, an array in which we are going to store the lines those would be read from the original file, and then few file pointers. So here capital FILE, this is a structure that is already declared inside stdio.h. To use this we'll have to include it, and also all the file handling functions those are there are declared inside this stdio.h header file. So for using file handling functions, this header file has to be included. So one of the file pointers would require to hold the pointer to the original file, and other file pointer would be required to hold the pointer to the new file that we would create. Then another variable which would hold the line number to be deleted. So let us call it as del line number, and another variable which would hold the current line number that we read from the original file. So these are few variables those would be required. Now first of all we are going to take the file name and the line number to be deleted from the user. So we would prompt the user to enter the file name, enter the file name, and we are going to read it using scanf function %s comma the address of the array in which the file name would be held as file name, right? So the name of the array itself is address of the array. Now after this what we are going to do is we are going to print the content of the file on the console, so that the user would be able to see what was the content before modification and after modification. That is when we have deleted the line from the file, we are going to reprint the content of the file on the console, so that the difference between before modification and after modification of the content is visible on the console. So for this, for printing the content of the file on the console, we are going to use another function that we would write. This function would return nothing, so the return data type would be void, and let us call it as print file. This is going to take a file pointer as a parameter, and we are going to use fgetC function to read character by character from the file and print it on console. So for holding a character read by fgetC function, you declare a variable, character variable, and fgetC function returns a end of file character when it reaches when the file pointer reaches end of file files. So this loop, in this loop we are going to iterate till the end of file character is returned by fgetC function. So fgetC function takes as parameter file pointer. So here the file pointer we have got as parameter that we would pass to fgetC function, and we would store the character. fgetC function returns the current character, so we are going to store it in ch variable that we have declared. And if the ch variable is not equals to end of file, then we are going to iterate in this loop, and the value of the character that is just read is stored in ch, that we would print on the console. So for printing it, %c would be written, and here the parameter would be ch. Now after the fgetC function returns the end of file, that means file pointer has reached the end of file, would come out of the loop, and the control would get returned to the place from where print file would be called. So we are going to call this print file from main function. So before main function, we declare its prototype. Now before calling this print file function, we'll have to open the original file. For that, we would use fopen function, and fopen function as parameter takes the file name, which is stored in file name character array. So the address of character array would be passed to fopen function, and the second parameter is file opening mode. So here we are opening this file for reading the content, so the file opening mode would be R. Fopen function would return file pointer that we are going to store in the variable that we have already declared for it, fp1, and then we are going to call the print file function that we have wrote, and to this we are going to pass fp1 file pointer. Now this is before the modification is done, so for that we would print before modification content of file before modification \n Now we are going to implement the main logic of the program, that is to read the lines of the original file and then transfer it to a new file. So for this, this file pointer has to be repositioned to the beginning of the file. For that, we would be using rewind function. So rewind is an inbuilt library function which repositions the file pointer to the beginning, to the start of the file. So rewind is the function that we would use. Now we would prompt the user to enter the line number to be deleted. Printf enter, sorry for typos, enter the line number to be deleted, or number of the line to be deleted, number of the line to be deleted, and we would read it in a variable that we have already declared. So %d comma address of the variable in which this line number would be stored. Now we are going to read the content of the original file line by line. So for that, we would be using fgetS function, and fgetS function returns a null when it reaches end of file. So we would iterate in a loop till fgetS function returns a null. So till it returns, until unless it returns null, we would iterate in this loop. So the condition would be when fget function returns a not null, that means it has read certain line from the file, and yet end of file has not reached. We have not reached the end of file. FgetS function takes as parameter the address of the character array in which the line just read would be stored. So here we have declared for this purpose this str character array of size 100. The assumption is that the line returned by fgetS function would not exceed 99 characters. And the next parameter is maximum number of characters that is expected to be read by fgetS function. So here the character array is of size 100, so we are expecting at the most 99 characters would be read by fgetS function, and one more space would be reserved for storing null character. So maximum 99 characters are to be read by fgetS function, and then the file pointer. So here the original file pointer is fp1. Now after reading it, we have to transfer it to a new file. So for that we would create a new file by using fopen function, and let us name the new file as replica.txt. And as we are going to transfer the content of original file into this, it has to be opened in write mode, and whatever it returns would store it in fp2, a file pointer that we have already declared. Now before this, we are going to transfer the line that is just read it by fgetS function in str. We have to check the line number of the line read by fgetS function. So for that, for keeping track of the current line that was read, we would use this variable, and we have initialized with the, so we need to initialize it with 0. After a line is read, this line number variable's value would get incremented. So after first line is read, this line number's initial value is 0, it would get incremented to 1. That is, it would represent the number of the line that has just read. And if it is not equals to the line to be deleted, then we will transfer that line to the new file. So if it is not equals to the delete line number, we are going to transfer it to the new file that we have opened for this purpose. For that, we are going to use fputs function. Fputs function writes content of a character array into a file. So here the content of the line just read is stored in str, and the second parameter it takes is the file pointer to the file in which the content would be written. So it is fp2. Now in this loop, the execution would remain till it returns a null, and after it returns a null, that means we have reached the end of file. We would come out of the loop, and after this we are going to close the files fp1, both the files, the original and the new file that we have created. So hope this logic is clear. We are reading the content of the original file line by line, and we are incrementing this value of the line number to keep track of the current line number that we have just read. If the current line number is not equals to the line number that is to be deleted, then we are transferring the content to the new file. And after this loop is done, we have transferred all the content of the original file except the line that is to be deleted to the new file. And after this loop, we are going to close these two files by using a close function. Then as per our logic, we are going to delete the original file, and for that we are going to use an inbuilt function known as remove, prototype of which is already declared in stdio.h. Remove takes as parameter the name of the file to be deleted, and it is stored, the name of the file is stored in file name character array. And then we are going to rename the new file that is known as replica.txt to have the name same as the original file. As parameter, it takes the file that has to be renamed. So here it is replica.txt, and it has to be renamed to that of the original file, and the name of the original file is contained in file name. So see, here we have deleted, using this remove function, we have deleted the original file, and we have renamed the new file that is named as replica.txt to that of to have a name same as that of the original file. Now after this is done, we are going to print the content of this renamed file on the console so that the user is able to see what is the content of the file after modification. So we are going to use this print file function again to print the content after modification. And after print file has returned back to main function, we are going to close the file by using a close function. So this is the so we are done with the implementation. Let us now build it. Hopefully it would build fine. Yes, so it is asking for the name of file. So for this purpose, I've already kept a file ready for this named as a.txt. It has got some content. Let me add one more line to it, line 3, and save it. Then I would input the name as a.txt. The content of the original file is shown. Content of file before modification, line 1, line 2, line 3. And let us say the line 2 has to be deleted. Enter the number of the line to be deleted. Yes, the content of the file after modification is line 1, line 3. We can just check in the original file that indeed the file has the content, the line number 2 has got deleted or not. Yes, the line number 2 has got deleted, so our program has worked just fine. So with this we have completed this program. In this program we have seen the logic of to delete a line from a file, and we have also seen various file handling functions like fopen, that is to open a file in certain mode, fgets, which reads a line from a file, fputs, which writes a line to a file, fclose, that closes the file, that is it clears the memory buffer in which content of the file is stored, and it also appends an end of file character in of a file in which is opened in write mode. Then remove and rename. Remove is for deleting a file, rename is to rename a file, and fgetC, which reads a character from a file. So these are the functions that we have seen in this program. Hope you have understood the logic of the program, and also you have understood the functionality of each of these file handling functions that we have seen in this program. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.